Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, the Multidimensional MD. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. My mission is to help bring back the intuitive spirit to medicine in practical and tangible ways. And so today, I'm going to be talking about dealing with fear and nervousness because each week in these rapidly changing times, I'm noticing certain patterns come up. And if I see them come up for a few people, then I know that it's out there for so many other people. And I also look deep in myself, if any of these patterns are coming up for me in even a small way. So if you have any inkling of this fear or fright or nervousness in you, then listen up and I'm going to go through just some different ways that you can process it. So the first thing is as we're in the just started November here, and we're moving in this time of having more clarity. But there can be some trouble with seeing clearly. Maybe you don't feel like you're seeing clearly, but the fog is lifting for a bit, and what I'm seeing is that what people may not necessarily like what they're seeing. And so that is the trouble with clarity, because if you want clarity, but you don't like what you see, then you might not be motivated to stay in the clarity. And so what I'm asking you to do is to embrace the clarity, no matter what is going on in the world. Just asking you to be able to see it. It doesn't mean that we are focusing on terrible things happening all the time, but it means that no matter what is happening, as the fog lifts, to be able to see yourself as you are, to be able to see the world as it is. And the thing is, it's okay to be scared. There is nothing wrong with being scared. It is a normal phenomenon. It is a normal physiological phenomenon. And the neat thing is that the physiological sensations of fear, nervousness, anxiety are the same or very similar to excitement. So, with all of those things, with fear and excitement, nervousness, anxiety, your heart rate can go up, your breath can get a bit more shallow or faster, you get some more tension in the muscles, and it's like you have this like buzzing sensation, and you can direct that towards excitement. So in order to shift things, you want to be able to claim yourself as you are. And so, in a way, you don't have to fight the fear and anxiety. It's more of a mindset shift. It's like being able to notice these bodily sensations. And then, once you shift it towards excitement, you can use that adrenaline, you can use that your heart pumping, you can use your thoughts like going faster towards something that you want. Because the difference between the fear and excitement is the fear is you're kind of going under this assumption that something very bad has happened, or you're afraid that something really bad is going to happen. And then with excitement, there is this idea that maybe you'll be rewarded or something really fun or amazing is going to happen. And since we don't really know what will happen for sure, it's to kind of shift in a way towards excitement. It's the same thing, but it's a mindset shift. So the same thing will be happening to your body, but your mind will just be kind of flipping it around. And then you get to use it for your advantage. You get to use it in a way that you're surfing with those that waves of life instead of like going for the roller coaster ride or getting like swept away by it. So the excitement would be that surfing, and then the fear would be maybe getting swept away by the waves or tumbling through the ocean. So it is totally okay to be scared. And Again, I see this in so many people, and what the fear and excitement will feel like to me in terms of an osteopathic or a cranial osteopathic point of view is I'll feel like this buzzing electrical sensation in people, and I feel the tension, and things start to become like more so much electricity in the head, so less grounded. And that's what I mean by those physiological sensations. But if you claim the sensations, claim yourself for what you're feeling, and just shift it again from instead of feeling fear. Well, you're feeling the same thing, but it's a shift in the mind, like a light switch, just literally just switching it from, you know, maybe this, what I'm feeling is excitement. And I read somewhere from a Harvard article that one way you can shift that, if you're not sure what to do, it's like you can actually just say, I want to feel my heart racing because I'm excited. I want to, I'm okay with my thoughts going because I feel excited. And I'm okay. Instead of like, I'm afraid to give this presentation, I'm so excited to give this presentation. I am, so you just flip around, said, I'm scared to do this. I'm excited to do this. And there's some other things that you can do to just help to kind of feel more clear in your body. Um, One is shifting the diet a bit. I know that we are moving into the colder months, and so things in general will feel more dense. But to stay in more clarity, I'm seeing that more people are just needing to shift more towards a plant-based diet, less meat. So maybe you're already doing that already, but if you do have like a heavier meat diet, try to go towards 80% vegan. So keeping that those meats and animal products in the 20%. So the more you can veer towards that, it will help to maintain this lightness in the body. You can still add warming foods like cinnamon and ginger, broths and teas to help nourish and warm the body. So as you move into the colder months, but to maintain, to stay out of the fog and to be able to think clearly, to see things clearly. And again, we're embracing clarity, even if it's difficult. So I've heard so many people just naturally, even kids, like wanting to just eat more plant-based and less meat. I think energetically, they're just feeling like the heaviness of the animal products. And this is no matter what kind of diet you're doing. So whether you're paleo, intermittent fasting, all of those diets are meant to be more plant-based anyway, like more vegetables, roasted veggies, and less processed foods, less sugar. And so it's not, the different kinds of people will need various diets. So it's not, I'm not saying that everybody has to be vegan, but everyone would benefit from having a more plant-based diet. So remember this when you're feeling confused, to just lean more towards getting more veggies. And you can also honor your process with a simple ceremony. So sometimes, people will be confused about what a ceremony is. But if you think about a simple birthday celebration where you light the candle, you sing happy birthday, and you honor and celebrate a person's trip around the sun. So you can also honor whatever you're going through with a simple ceremony. And a simple ceremony has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so you can open that with just setting aside time. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 20 minutes. And you could open it with lighting a candle, like a birthday cake, or you could open it by reading a poem or singing a song or saying a prayer. And then in the middle is your process of honoring. So however you want to do that. It could be that you journal for about 5 to 20 minutes. So whatever you're going through, just get it out, all out on paper. And you could, people have been going through so many different things, change in jobs, moves, um, family difficulties, miscarriages, so many life things. And so you want to be able to honor what you're going through. And as you do that, you just let things unfold. And then when you're done with your writing process, you can close it again the same way you opened it. So you could blow out the candle, you could sing a song again, or you could say a prayer. And in doing that, it's just you're telling yourself that I am worth whatever I'm going through. I'm going to bring my awareness like this big nest of love around it so that I can help process it. And another way that you can just help literally shake off the nervousness and fear, and it's like you're embracing it at the same time, but letting it process. And so in Qigong, they have this thing called shake the tree. And so you're literally like standing and bouncing and like shaking your arms and your legs. So you can do that. If you have a little rebounder, that's a great thing to do, to help move your lymph and get things moving that flow through the body. So if you just literally bounced and shook for about 5 minutes, you could have some sort of drumming going on or whatever music that is that you like. But sometimes like that rhythmic music can really help. I've done yoga practices where all we had was drumming in the background, and then we literally just shook for about 30 minutes. And this is different than what I teach the trauma release exercises, which is like a shaking kind of meditation. But this is like a more simple way to do it where you don't have to know how to do anything. You literally just shake. And then after you do that, just pay attention to what you feel in the body, those sensations going around in the body. A lot of times you might feel like some sort of tingling and energy moving. So notice what you feel afterwards. And that's just such an easy, simple way to help process things. So in this time, we're also creating community while still having time for ourselves. So it's like, how can you connect with people but not exhaust yourself? And many people in the healing arts or in the parents, we're all caretakers. So you can easily exhaust yourself helping take care of other people's. And so it's like, how can you still create this space and time for yourself? Um, and I had a neat experience the other day where I went into a float tank. And it's this sensory deprivation room where literally you just float in salt water. So there's all this magnesium in the water, which is great for your body. It's just used for so many enzyme processes and can really help to calm down. So there's no light, there's no sound, and you're in this kind of anti-gravity chamber because you're floating in water. So it's like, what do you do if you erased all your sensations and we're just left with your being, your authentic self? Like, what would that feel like? And what that does is it helps create this safe nest. It's like you're back in the womb, in the salt water, in the ocean, and you're just able to process whatever you're going through within this safety of embrace of the salt water. And it was a really neat experience. If you've never done it before, then I did that at Float Atlanta. So all they do are float tanks, and you can try it out and let me know. I would be interested in hearing what your experience was. Um, and if you haven't meditated before, I think this is such a useful way to learn how to meditate because you all the distractions are completely taken away and you're just left with the stillness of yourself. And maybe it doesn't feel so still at first because your mind could be racing and it could take a little bit to get settled down. But it's like you learn how to meditate without even trying because you are brought to the stillness, and then everything can sort out in that nothingness, in that void, and whatever you're experiencing is okay in that nothingness. So you can kind of return to the state of balance. It's so balancing for the nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. So that is my quick update for the week. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from. So please like and subscribe, and you can find me on Instagram at All Worlds Health, or on Facebook at All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, and on my website, allworldshealth.com. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time, next Wednesday, 11 a.m. EST.